Over in the other part of the bracket, though, we do see Scorpion Raccoon, a team that we saw last week, make their way to the finals. So Miasma Esports will be clashing with a animal hybrid in a best of 3 for the last week of Heroes Hype Tempo Storm.
A chimera, if you will. One of the weaker chimeras, as it is a scorpion raccoon. Normally it's like scorpion and lion, scorpion, snake and lion, scorpion, lion, snake and eagle.
Hey man, we have yet to see their final form.
This is the lesser chimera.
They're gonna try to prove you wrong on that one. Like they're a solid team now. Like I got to see them. They put up a pretty good fight last week. So I'm glad to see that they not only have come back, but they've advanced to the finals. Looking at their roster now, Electromad, Sour Ray, Earthshaker, Nailter, and Jazz. Let's see. Yeah, just 5 of them on the roster. So 5 real human beings make their way to the finals. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Not sure if they're jumping right into that game or if we need to take a short break or not. But while we do have this intermission, I would again say that if you have not yet donated $1 to the prize pool by entering the Matcherino code, I wholeheartedly invite you to do so. These teams put on a great show for us every Wednesday night. So it'd be very cool to show some appreciation and say like, hey, like thanks for what you do. So take some time, go over to the Matcherino site, put in $1, and that's like a new set of peripherals, like $1,200. We're trying to get to 15 by the end of the season. That's no small amount as far as community generation goes. That's a new set of peripherals. That's a new webcam for the source. He's out here shopping around for $250 webcams.
Nah.
No, he's not about. That's not.
I'm
you.
not about that life.
That's not you. That's not you.
No. I need. Dude, when more of that sweet esports Skrilla flows in, maybe we go for that webcam.
Okay.
But for now, I think the issue is something going on with my USB ports. So I might just have to open up my computer and check my motherboard again, and maybe be able to fix it that way.
I believe in you, man. I think you can do it. But
I think it's a power issue, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. See, you got some salt shakers. You can get jerseys, stuff like that. And there are 2 play sessions still available with the one and only Renisaurus Karen. She says she'll flame me for an hour. One of the coolest members of the community. Definitely invite you to take part in that. But we do have the map bans underway. We've heard from our good old-fashioned argue. Miasma's taking Tomb of the Spider Queen off the board again. Scorpion bans Warhead. So that's funny to me. And Scorpion's taking Towers of Doom. So Miasma Esports have first pick, first ban. What's funny about that to me is Scorpion Raccoon was like, wait, they played on Forehead Junction? I don't even know who picked that map. I just don't want to deal with it. They were like, I don't know. It
wasn't even their pick, though.
Right. They didn't care. They didn't care. They were like, look, I don't know who, how, what, or why. All I know is I go over to the channel. I'm hyped up. I made it into the finals. I want to hear what's going on. And the casters are talking about Warhead Junction. And that's enough. That's enough for them to just be like, nope, not today. Not today. Towers of Doom, though, it is going to be the first time we see this map tonight. A map that I think has seen something of a consistent rise in popularity. When it first came out, a lot of people had some question marks about it. But over time, I think as more of a strategy formed, you really can appreciate some of its merits. To an extent, you have to worry about wave clear. Team fighting is very important. Timing the siege camps, rotating around are all very important aspects. So as far as macro strategy and decision making goes, you definitely can see a disparity. Like if one team has better macro game and shot calling potential, and they know when to take a fight and when they don't, they tend to win on Towers of Doom. So I like this map.
I'm still so on Towers of Doom. I'll forever dislike the maps that I can't end the game on.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's just the way it goes. I like being able to end the game. I think it's a skill that a lot of teams don't have, or at least lack or miscalculate. AKA the last game we just saw, believing they could end the game that early.
Ooh.
That's not even flame. That's a fact.
Full esports.
I mean, I can also flame with facts too. But
that's fair.
No, but it's like one of those things. So Towers of Doom, it emphasizes a different set of skills. I don't mind it as much in competitive. I don't mind as much in competitive as much as I don't want to see it in my Hero League games.
That's fair. Every time I see Blackheart's Bay, I'm like, oh.
Exactly.
So, I get it.
It's also a team it's also a map that because it takes a different set of skills, it takes a lot more coordination, which is hard to achieve in Hero League.
That's fair. I would agree with that. We got all 10 players in the lobby. We have our good old-fashioned Argy along with Mantis in here as well, who's been holding down the adminning. But shout out to the admins as well. People work tirelessly behind the scenes to make Heroes Hype the best amateur weekly series that it can be. Big shout out to those guys. And Abmid and Royal Light, they're a little under the weather, so I hope they feel better soon as well. So, there's that. But we're ready. Sour Ray says you guys ready. Vested says they're ready. We say we're ready. Everybody's ready. So I think the best three finals is just about to begin. Oh wait, Electro Man is not there yet. So debated. Oh wait, no, he's there. No, he's there. He's in here posting emotes. Yucking it up. Here we go. Welcome to Towers of Doom.
Are we welcome though? Like, strictly speaking.
I mean, that's what it said on the screen.
Is this really a welcoming place?
It doesn't seem like it. You know, I'm sure you would think the property value would take a steep decline when you see, like, you know, the stuff that goes on around here. It's like, wow, they just blew that house up.
That's kind of crazy. As far as maps go, I think Dragonshire, probably the most welcoming of maps. It's a big festival, essentially. What's going on around the outside? Granted, they welcome you with gallant smiles and then watch you kill each other. So maybe they're not the nicest people, those nobles of Dragonshire.
I don't trust them. Alarak is in fact going to be banned by Scorpion Raccoon. Perhaps they ran into Alarak earlier in the night and they were like, look, after the rework, he's something of a concern to deal with. So they're going to ban him out. First pick is now in the hands of Miasma Esports, who decided to go for Abathur. They were inspired by the cheese they just went up against. They're like, all right, well, you want to take Warrior Junction away from us? Doesn't matter.
Genji, the new Abathur hunter. Ogre. We're gonna call this one Ogre Genji because he's green.
That's fair.
Or is this Troll Genji because he's green? Or is it this Fell Orc Genji because he's green?
If he dashes behind a fort and gets a kill on Abathur and dashes out, he's officially Troll Genji. we'll see that.
Or is he anti-Troll Genji? Troll Hunter Genji.
Oh. So now he's out here dealing out justice. It's like, all right, you want to take Abathur against us? Hello?
Maybe he's Farmer Genji. He's a master of dealing with cheese. Dairy Farmer Genji.
Remains to be seen.
All right, I'm done.
Either way,
went on too long.
No, man. It was just right. It was Goldilocks. Uther and Anubarak are gonna get snapped up though for the 2 and 3 slots from Miasma Esports. Locked down for days, so Cleanse is probably gonna come into the discussion. You see, on the other side, you got a band to consider. Scorpion Raccoon, they're like, all right, you guys got Abathur, got Uther. You could have Divine Shield on Zeratul if we try to take him down. We don't feel like dealing with that. We definitely don't want double Zeratul. So he gets banned.
So now the double combo options are down to Greymane, but Greymane's been picked. Illidan, if you're comfortable doing that. There aren't a lot of great Abathur options left. Actually, it's like Genji, Greymane, Illidan are the main ones. And now you take Malfurion, who's great into Illidan, Muradin, who's good into Illidan. So Illidan does not look that good.
Well, you know, the Abathur first pick followed up by the Genji, that's also a denial in and of itself, because anytime I've seen double Genji in coordinated play, it looks wrong. Like, it's just like, I wouldn't want to deal with all that either. So I don't know if Genji was a part of the plan for Scorpion Raccoon all along, but Genji and Greymane both are really strong double targets, so tick those off. I get it. Arthas, Cassia to round it out. Interesting.
Okay, so you're looking at Arthas clone for zone control if you have to. Cassia, because her base kit actually does pretty good damage. It's not a terrible option. It's not the best, though.
And then the Leora. And then the Leora. Alright, I mean, I'm a little surprised to see Leora. We'll see what kind of value he's able to get out of that. He puts a timer on Arthas' face. It's like, alright, well, I have to start getting out of here or else I'm going to lose 30% of my health later on. A nicely timed Entomb on Uther and Cassia or Arthas could be a bad time.
It's actually a great answer because Anoob's the only person you can get out of there.
Yeah, that's very true. Strong solo laner, has him escape. If it becomes a prolonged fight, he comes back from the grave. Okay. You know, I'm starting to see it. Interesting nonetheless. So I'm also surprised at the Rhaegar ban. I mean, that more or less guaranteed the Malfurion would get picked up. I guess the statement there is we don't want to deal with that burst healing. Once we pop that clone, once we have, you know, all hands on deck, we want to make sure we get those takedowns. So go ahead and deny you the ancestral healing. But Twilight Dream could do some work.
Yeah. I think what place Twilight Dream is gonna shut down Cassia's mobility by a little bit, just because if she's silenced and so is Uther, there's gonna be a lot less peel for her. I mean, this entire composition is peel for the Cassia and then double Cassia later.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, but this is it. Week 5 Heroes Hype Temple Storm Series. Last chance to get those first place points. On the left side is Scorpion Raccoon, Sour Razor on Greymane, nailed her. It's playing Malfurion. Earthshakers on New York, Electro Mad be dancing around on Genji, and Jazz rounded out on Muradin.
Yeah, and over on the other side, we have the members of Miasma Esports. It's going to be Vestige on the Anubarak, Necromongers on the Arthas, Deceive on the Cassia, Lexuther on the Abathur, and Zeromax on the Uther.
No fireworks just yet. When you have Abathur in your composition, you don't want to get too squirrely. Miasma Esports agree. Rotate down, catch some of the soak in the bottom lane. A 1-1-3 setup for both of these teams. Pretty slow going early on. Neither one of these teams really looking to scrap. I understand. A lot on the line. No one's getting out of position. Just play it safe for now.
Yeah, it's also pretty slow going for both these compositions unless they land like full combo with Greymane and Genji. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to actually get any pickoffs here. Going with a 2-2-1 to start it off and just kind of pushing the Abathur lane with the Leora, just get the free wave clear.
Lex Luthor has the audacity to siege up right next to Earthshake. He's like, you're not going to get me. Like, I got a minion wave here. I got both my towers. Like, that's fine. So, Leora just decides to back away. Looking at the talents level 1, though, I'm kind of surprised to see Rhyme get picked up. I mean, I get it. You want the physical armor. It's a strong talent against Greymane. But Genji will just shred that away for free. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah. I think it's not terrible under the circumstances. I think it's going to lose value as the game goes on. So, not the best decision. It's also, you know, you're looking to maybe go anti-spell damage later, and so the more armor you can stack up early, the better. And just build yourself a set of defenses so that the only thing that can get you is those auto attacks. And I mean, Greymane does pretty decent ability. Like, people always underestimate how much ability damage comes out of most of the auto attackers. It's a decent part of your kit and how you kill things. Same with tanks. So you take all of that magic damage gets nullified. It's not a terrible idea to go with the early armor, if that's your plan.
Strong point. I definitely understand the reasoning behind it. With Abathur, you're not going to press too hard for these altars, so it's going to be 2 in the favor of Scorpion Raccoon. 1 goes over to Miasma. Electromad is not going to be able to dash out of there. When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. As did Vestige. Finds himself on the other side of the towers. This is a little awkward. But with the help of his teammates, is he? No, he's not. The bug gets squashed.
Yeah. Scuttled a little too far forward. Maybe they make that happen if they can break small wall, but I think that they weren't quick enough thinking to break the small wall, plus Anubrak got rooted, so that slowed down his ability to add in damage, and they just kind of realized they had to cut their losses. So they got a takedown, but not a great trade back.
And as far as team fighting goes, anytime you get a takedown with Abathur before level 10, I feel it's something of a more notable victory because you are down a body in those situations. So to identify that forward position and get a takedown there, neat. But when you burrow in on the other side of the tower, you're going to negate a lot of what you had going for you. Short experience deficit in favor of Scorpion Raccoon. But I think by the next altar phase shows up, everybody should have level 7.
Yeah. Question whether or not Earthshaker is going to get enough value because they've just kind of kept the Auric up here. He will now finally start to get these turrets and actually gets the drain on the Lex, so Lex got to back up.
Jazz is able to dwarf toss out of there. Electromad hits the cyber agility and deflect the Securities, escape the storm bolt. Make sure of that as well. 2 altar affair in the top portion of the map. Looking at the top and left right portions. Level 7 should be here for Miasma Esports by the time things all start to play out. Do we just look to trade?
Depends on whether or not Earthshaker lands a drain over wall. Thinking about it, doesn't commit it. So, that would have been kind of the moment to make something happen. Ooh, they might get Uther. Whew, Abahat.
Yeah, I mean, the interrupt Miasma Esports looking to play. Zero Max is able to get out of there. By the end of it, though, Jazz is able to dwarf toss back and get the altar in time and further stretch out their lead. You gotta establish a strong early game against an Abathur comp, lest you get out-soaked, unless you get rocked by the late game. Zero Max again finds himself the target. Jazz jumps in over the wall, says surprise, takes down Uther, who will be able to sustain his teammates for a moment. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to save Cassia. Has the armor, Sour Ray on the case. Electromad jumps out with a scrap of health. Jazz suddenly is inspired to retreat as well. And oh no! Genji gets taken down.
I mean, Cassia passive is a thing that kept her alive permanently, plus Ring of Leech. So, yeah, Cassia Abba. Maybe Cassia Abba is enough of an answer. I would prefer Ariel. Like, imagine if you had Cassia Abba Ariel. That Cassia is never going to die.
You could have yourself a pretty decent time. I mean,
might have to try that.
Thinking emoji. But, that was a team fight that I definitely felt favored Scorpion Raccoon. Uh-oh! Lex Uther! Boop! Earthshaker walks into Yankee Stadium and gets a home run via Abathur's face. That's important of note. A little daring and bold.
Is he just waiting there? Yeah, he's just waiting there for his Wraith Walk to come back up.
Yeah, he's not going to eat the towers if he doesn't have to. I mean... Nicely done by Leoric. Earthshaker says hello to the worm. And then does the worm on out of there, curiously enough. Heroics are going to be here for Scorpion Raccoon. Miasma Esports have 20 seconds to say the same. I think they will be able to get it thanks to Abathur Soak. Then they'll have the clone. They have a lot more tools in the old arsenal. We're going to see how the rest of this game plays out off of this episode.
So, I wonder when they send Electromad to go Abathur hunting. Probably soon. I would get Earthshaker out of that lane because he's done pretty much all he could. And they don't get off the Twilight Dream. That Twilight Dream goes off, and everything there dies. That's huge.
As it turns out, it goes the other way. Mount Freeman caught 4, gets taken down in the early stages of the game. The stun goes in on Murden, turning this into a 2-for-0 in favor of Miasma Esports. We got our clone. We got our double Arthas. We're looking to do work.
Earthshaker tried. He tried to sneak the turn, and now Miasma looks to be in a much better position. They're going to get 2 turn-ins to even things out completely. Actually getting themselves the lead.
It's going to feel like a different game henceforth now that the clone is available for Miasma Esports. Earthshaker applying pressure to D Steves. Do you have the Entomb? You do. You decide not to try to press that issue. You don't see where the enemy is on the map. You don't want to get rotated on.
Got him.
Get it. But D Steve steps back outside the towers. It becomes a 1v1 showdown. Who wins? Leoric gets taken down, and D Steve's no B step.
Not a true 1v1. Abathur hat came in.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Not a real 1v1.
look at everything. That's personal. That's personal right there. He actually might want to be careful. I was about to say, they could just follow him around. I guess he could Wraith Walk, still.
It'll be okay. But that it's never a 1v1 when there's an Abathur bat. So the decision to make that play without having any additional damage, once you get blinded, there goes a huge chunk of your damage. You know, you're a tank, but your autos matter. And so that lack of initial damage, really, they just want a team fight. They've got great team fighting ultimates. Just hit them with a Twilight Dream, hit them with an Entomb, combine those 2 heroics with the Dragon Blade, and you will find takedowns.
The key to that is to hit the Twilight Dream. You need to be alive long enough to be able to do that. Malfearing's positioning is going to be very important for the later stages of this, because we saw what happens when Twilight Dream's not a factor. A bad time is had all around.
I mean, Entomb Dream. That's what you got to do, man.
Level 13, not too far for either one of these teams. 4-point lead in favor of Miasma Esports, who have turned this bad boy around. With 1 altar showing in the bottom portion of the map, this is going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, they also need to... Lyric probably ought to tap before he shows up to this fight. This is basically a repeat of the last situation where he was a little bit late, and they instantly lost Malfurion. Now, this is their fight to turn the game around and regain some of their composure. They do want 13 before this happens, but I think you just have to start the initial fight, because you're not going to find that experience anywhere.
Zero Max wastes no time getting the altar in before Scorpion Raccoon are able to do much. Lord goes down, Twilight Dream the follow-up. Can they make something happen? Necromongers, Lex Luthor. We're going to see a Nubrak get taken down. The root goes in on Grayman, who starts to back away. Jazz gets the Stormbolt, tries to get the turnaround. Cassia goes down. This is a seesaw battle. Sour Ray looking to do damage. Jumps in on Necromongers, who gets the hat from Ab. Greymane starts to back away. Necromongers finds himself under pressure from Genji, who dashes after him, gets the takedown. He's darting across the map. He gets on Zero Max next, and I do believe Uther's going to get taken down, and his team fight will go the way of Scorpion Raccoon.
Bam. Granted, Twilight Dream, I think, was held a little long. They finally found their combo. They got off an Entomb. It kept a lot of people there. They were able to get around the fact that Genji was inside the cocoon, so WebRep didn't do enough to get the job done.
Lex Luthor, hello?
Yo, he alt-tabbed, man.
Lex Luthor feels he's playing an AI match and decides to soak right up against the enemy keep wall and finds himself spending 10 seconds or more thinking about what he did.
And got him, man.
It was a choice. It was for sure a choice. Sour Ray rotated up, capitalized on it, gets another takedown on Abathur. Slight experience lead. About a level, in fact. Not slight at all. And 16 not too far off for the members of Scorpion Raccoon, who find themselves responding to the clone setup and getting work done in these team fights.
So, level 16 around the corner. That's going to be the key to how hard they want to aggress with their advantage. I think at 16, they're going to get a bunch more damage out of Greymane, and they should be willing to fight again and just keep hammering the enemy composition with just as many team fights as humanly possible. Because the more you team fight, the less value Abathur gets, because then he has to clone and he has to join in.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. I mean, it's got to be Executioner for Greymane, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, when you have Leoric being able to slow him down, that's pretty much a guaranteed proc. 3 altar setup is 24 to 24. Without their tier advantage, it's going to be something of a tall task for Miasma Esports to get more than one of these. They're just going to have to try to batten down the hatches and get that soak. Try to get back on even time.
Lex Ether. Slug life in a way, man. Earthshaker's coming for him.
I mean, he's found out twice what it's like to be caught too far forward, so he's probably going to play it a bit more passively. Earthshaker potentially called out. 3 members of Miasma Esports looking to capitalize. Electromad, is it going to be enough for a disengage? The Lightning Ball is going to say no. Takedown on Leoric. He'll be back sooner rather than later, though. Altar is picked up in favor of Miasma Esports as the battle waves on the top portion of the map. Divine Shield goes down. Electromad trying to zip and juke and jag all across the map. Not going to work out for him this time, but he does get Cassia for his trouble.
Alright, they're getting around the fact that there's this clone still. Greymane goes down. They need to keep Greymane alive. And again, these Twilight Dreams, they're just so late. They need to Twilight Dream like mid-fight and get the Cassia, because she keeps surviving really, really long time. They do come out slightly ahead in the grand scheme of things, and so they'll be able to get an additional... Oh, boss help. Alright.
Trait value, Leoric is going to come back and get the takedown. But all things considered, Lex Luthor does go down there. He's able to get the altar. To walk into that without your level 16 talent and to get 2 out of 3, you lose some heroes for it. You lose one of your keeps, but you're still up a point. Not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad play by them. I just think they're overcommitting in really dangerous spaces where just Mouth is just shy of committing everything necessary to bring people down.
Caught up in experience, Miasma Esports back in the saddle on even talent tiers. They're going to be able to take this top keep back. The bottom keep is pretty low. The Sapper camp is going to get picked up as well. So they could definitely see themselves looking at a 5-3 deficit. I like the decision. They wait a little bit for capping the top keep. That should be alive and healthy by the time the next altar phase shows up. Don't have to worry about that getting taken down again. But Jazz, kind of on an island, but here's the rotation.
Ooh, a lot of damage in there. I mean, they keep web wrapping the Genji repeatedly to counter out the Dragon Blade, which is good. But if you web wrap the Malfurion, you can actually finish the Genji off.
Twilight Dream goes in as the Divine Shield drops. Leoric's going to drop as well. Lex Luthor, the clone, gets taken down. Stun goes in on Cassie, who starts to back away, gets over the line of scrimmage, so no damage there. The Sappers are going to get defended. A single altar, again, a 5-3 scenario. But with Arthas being down by the time this altar comes around, they might be looking at losing 5 points off their court.
Question whether or not they can get the mid, because you could probably capitalize on a mid push if you played properly. Earthshaker's going to come back up, so you could have left one down there, but they're not going to get overly greedy. Probably send somebody up there to go kill Abathur again, who's getting pretty aggressive with his push-up.
It hasn't netted them too much. I mean, no keeps have been claimed yet by the members of Miasma Esports. Lex Luthor started the hard back, but then decided to stick around. I guess he heard some communication from his team. The Dwarf Toss is there. Stormbolt's going to help Meriden get out. Guess he feels safe. Oh, no, he's like, all right, I'm out.
So, at this point, pretty much going to hit 20 at the same time. Once they take back the bottom bell tower, it'll happen a little bit faster, and York's got to be careful.
A surprise Meriden appears, and Lex Luthor once again finds himself waiting to respawn. Awkward.
I mean, going on a slug hunt, man.
I mean, I can't even fault them for that one. I would not expect Meriden of all people to show up, but that's going to be huge for the members of Scorpion Raccoon. They're looking to capitalize. See the Drain Hope go in on Necromongers, who is able to back away. Electromad's on the case. The dragon becomes me. He's like, oh, it was a prank. Gets rooted by Arthas. The root goes in from Malfurion, though. Twilight Dream after the Bolt of the Storm on 3 members. The Stormbolt just misses. Divine Shield has to go on Cassia to keep her alive. Vestas burrows in. The cleanse goes in on Uther. Or on Genji, and then it turns around and gets the takedown on Uther. This is crazy.
They managed to survive that, and they managed to force out the web wrap before he Dragon Bladed. So they didn't have to worry about that getting fully canceled. that is huge because now they're looking at maybe they hard push mid, maybe they get down this additional bell tower. I think they could do it if they felt committed. They've got Leoric, they're stalling them out. Instead, they're going to go for the escort bottom plus the 2 turn in. Not as easy, but still very doable.
They commit so heavily. They got 3 members to take down New York. I mean, that's of note, sure, but you're giving up 10 points on your core for it, and Abathur gets taken down again off screen. I'm not sure that trade was worth it for the members of Miasma Esports. You get to take down on New York, you help yourself to the boss, but you got 1 point on your core left and a few sappers trying to end the game. It's not looking good for me. That trade was
worth.
It's 100.
It was worth.
Not for Miasma.
No, but like the trade was worth in the end for Scorpion Raccoon. Like killing your Genji, trading your Genji for the Abba to make sure that you got the waves cleared.
1000%. Well, before we started talking about this map, or before we go into the draft, I was like, I really like this map because you really get to see a team strategy, decision making, and macro play come in the equation. Team fighting is important. Rotations are important. Siege damage is important to extend as well. And that game was a strong example of why I feel that way. The decision to take down Leoric, you have 3 members beat on Leoric like a piñata. Sure, in the immediate moment it feels good. We got Leoric, LOL. He was trying to slow us down. We got him. 2 altars are on the board. 1 of your keeps are taken. You got 11 points on the core, and sapper camps are up in the bottom lane.
I mean, he was there to stall. It's just, it was going to be really difficult for them to get anybody out of there. Now, they didn't have to go for the boss. If they'd given the boss, they could have stalled the game. Like, they could have easily made it bottom and stalled. Problem was they committed to the boss. So, Leo, the moment they did the boss, Leo was like, all right, my job easy, done. Got it.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe one way or the other, Leoric was going to stall him, even if they left him to his own devices. Maybe he drops in Tomb or something like that. But just to see how it played out, where they take down Leoric and then they turn towards the boss and leave 2 altars up, it just felt short-sighted. I just feel like they could have done more. One of the altars were probably going to go over to Scorpion Raccoon one way or the other.
Yeah, one for sure. Could have fought for the second.
Right. I just feel like the call was get Leoric, get the boss, and they just didn't really consider that they were going to lose 10 points and ultimately the game for a Leoric and a boss that does not end the game. Feels macro, man. Feels very macro. But this is the grand final, so this will be a best of 3 affair. Miasma Esports played quite well. I think they might want to just play the game a bit more straight up. They might want to leave Abathur where he's at. They might want to just take a more standard composition. Like, they made it work a little bit, but it's just... It's such a
how many times did Abathur die? Like, he got hunted.
Dude, they got
if that doesn't happen, I think they do a fair bit better.
I think everybody but Malfurion got a kill on Abathur that game.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
4 deaths on Abathur is about 5 too many, all considered. Do math on that. But we're hearing a word from Argy. Our good old fashioned Argy. They just don't make them like that anymore, man. He said we are going to in a bunch of dots. So once again, we've been debated. I mean, I'm wondering, you're Miasma Esports in that situation, because when you lose the game, you have a choice between first pick and the team that won picks the map, or you take the map and you take second pick. You're in that kind of situation. Team, Scorpion Raccoon select the Towers of Doom. So you're like, all right, we're first pick. It's cool. We'll take Abathur. We'll kind of, beat them at their own macro game. They want to take us to this map. We just dealt with Warhead Junction. They tried to get us with the, the hunt. that. No, now it's our turn. You kind of get rocked with the Abathur count. I mean, you did well, but you kind of get rocked.
Go somewhere normal. Take it to a normal map.
So you take the map choice source and let them have first pick.
Unless you're well, you don't have to, but like it depends on how scared you are that they're gonna take you to something crazy global again.
Well, one thing that's really interesting about the two games we've seen in Miasma Esports so far tonight is that they were in a very reactionary position based on the merits of the map and the subtext of the conversation surrounding how they got there. 4 guys in the Legend take Warhead Junction. If you're Miasma Esports, you're like, okay, they're going to try to do something crazy. You just don't choose Warhead Junction for nothing. So then you again are getting first pick. The enemy takes you to Towers of Doom, a more standard map, but one that still invites its measure of cheese if done right. So you try to get the early jump on that, and you're like, hey, we'll just take Abathur. Feels good, man. I don't know, man.
Maybe.
I just
Abacomps are always so like they require just the right amount of finesse.
Well, we saw how that played out, and I would submit to you, finesse isn't the word I'd describe. I'd go with.
Yeah, that was not the slug life, man.
It felt it's just tough, source, when you're Abathur out there trying to live your life, and of all people, Muradin jumps out,
hits you with that land auto, stormboat auto, W auto. He just got you.
I'd be curious to hear what the voice comms were like. If Miasma Esports are able to get the reverse sweep, it's a team game. We all win or lose as a team. You can't just blame one person for everything. But after dying 3 times on Abathur, and then Muradin comes out and gets you. What do you say? Like, I'm down, guys.
You just got curse stomped by Muradin. That's about it.
I don't know, man. I just brings a tear to my eye. It literally does. But we are getting into the lobby for the next game, and it looks like Miasma Esports wanted first pick. So it'll be Scorpion Raccoon taking us now to Sky Temple. And I would just have to caution Miasma Esports. We do see Abathur show up every now and again on Sky Temple. But I would just leave the worm out of this one. If I'm Miasma Esports. I don't know, man. I can't get past. I can't get past Argy, who's done an incredible job observing tonight so far. So give him a pat on the back in the chat, guys. I can't get over.
Brought you them Abathur deaths,
right? I can't get over Argy clicking on. It was just like right as he clicked down there, you just see Muradin just jumped out the bush with a trench coat, just like ah. That was gonna